Hi folks, Jesse Randall, MSU FBIC. We're back out here in the field today. One of the most precious resources that we have is water, but one of the most destructive resources we have is water. And we're talking about water and excess water on our logging roads today. We see that we're out here on this site. It was not put to sleep properly after the last logging job. It's used heavily by recreational users, so they didn't close the road down. But there are certain things that are now happening as more recreational users use this area. And we have to, we're going to bring you this video to show you how we will correct some of the erosion that's going on. And what you'll see here is a hill slope. It's a fairly uniform grade, and there is erosion in the logging tracks and now in the recreational vehicle tracks. What our aim is, and you'll see that this erosion is following in those tracks. It's carving out the sand and the silt that is here and exposing the rocks, and it's just down cutting even faster. And so it's speeding up the erosion now that we run on it. What we're looking at doing is bringing the dozer in here, and we're going to give this road a chime back again. We're going to round that top off. We're going to provide the road with an area that can drain the water away. We're also going to deal with this consistent slope. And from my ag engineer friends, when we talk to them about controlling water, we like to control them with water bars. They are something that will require maintenance every few years if you run on it hard, but it's one of the most inexpensive ways that we can control forest road erosion. And the way that it was explained to me and that I'm trying to get across is I'm about 6 foot 2 inches tall. And so when I look up, my eye naturally wants to go to level and just a little bit higher. And that's going to be at about 10%. Do it time in and time out. Your eye is naturally going to gravitate a little higher on the hill slope. And you can see that I've put some orange flagging out there. That orange flagging represents about a 10% rise over this run. All right, and it's not very scientific. That's what they tell me we want to stick our roads at, or our water bars at. So what we're going to do, and we'll show you a diagram of this layout here in a minute, we're going to chime this road. So we're going to give the water a place to flow off to the side, but then as the water comes down the hill, it'll never be able to fall more than about 5 to 10 feet before it hits a water diversion bar and shunts off. I'm taking the power out of the water as it falls down the hill. So we're not letting it gain power and momentum coming down the hill. We're going to shunt it off with earthen water bars that we can still drive over. But you can see as the slope of this increases, this hill increases, my water bars get closer and closer together. So the first one may be 50 feet away from us, and then after that they're spaced every 30 to 40 feet until you get towards the top of the hill, and then it spaces back out again. But this is a great way. We'll shunt the water off with a simple knifing in of the dozer blade off in, and it'll create a settling pond for the water. What you can see Kyle doing, the first pass he made, he had his blade angled to the outside and he was throwing off all the sediment that had come down and filtered down out of the hillsides. Once that's gone, it exposes the gravel, and now that he's got his blade angled back into the center, he's creating the initial chime on that road. We're not setting the finished grade, but we're bringing the gravel that we want back onto the center of this forest road. You want to run on gravel, not on silt. So it takes several passes to set these roads up properly. So not only will the water run off to the side, but it's going to run down the hill, hit those water bars, and then off into the existing timber. So what you can see here at this site, we're dealing with a lot of glacial deposits, so we have a lot of cobbles here. So it's going to make for a really fairly rough road. But what we're doing, I've tried to scallop out, go down about 6 inches. I've tried to deposit about 6 inches of soil on the downslope side. That gives me about a 1 foot rise in capacity. I've angled it at about 30 degrees, less than 30 degrees. So the water's going to run down the hill, it's going to run into this swale and shunt off down that way. What I'm going to do, because we have all these cobbles, before I try to pack this, I'm going to pull these cobbles, I'm going to throw them off to the side, then I'm going to pound this or pack this soil down with the dozer so it's smoother for the truck and the ATVs to go over. And then I'm going to clear out the exit with the dozer, making a settling pond for the water. Once we slow down the water and it settles in that settling pond, you take the power out of it, the erosive power. Then it'll flow around and go in the ditch down to the lowest point. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm just going to pull some of these bigger cobbles and we'll smooth it out and pack it down. You can see Mother Nature gave us a lot of rock in this site, on this road. So that's a blessing and a curse when it comes to road building. Last thing you want to hit with a vehicle or an ATV are big rocks. We're out here in Menominee County, right on these glacial moraines. And so they're deposited a lot of rock over a short amount of time when the glaciers came through. That should be good. I know we're going to find more as we dig in here, but for now, I think we're good to smooth it and pack it out. What we do need to mention, water bars are an inexpensive technique to control erosion, but they take maintenance. Every couple of years, depending on the amount of traffic that these see and the amount of water, you're going to have to come in and re-berm them. And so it's cheap to do, but there's more maintenance longer term. All right. So now what we've done, all of the water has to, as soon as it hits this berm, and we'll pack it down more with the truck over time as we drive on it, all that water is going to shunt off that way, and we're going to take the power out of the water. So as it falls down the hill, it gains momentum, it gains power, it runs into this little swale and goes off to the side. With that, you have a simple water bar that's going to control erosion for several years.